Good afternoon. Thank you for watching my YouTube channel on Just the Talk. As you know, I'm always interested in something new, something that is current, and certainly something that is useful or at least unusual. So I've done several talks on dementia, whether it is vitamin D, whether it is exercise, whether it is nutrition, whether it is something else. And I came across this particular study, which is extremely interesting. For two reasons it is interesting. They not only tested cognitive function, but they also tested beta amyloid and also tau and several other tests that were done. So the cognitive function and the analysis of how good your memory is, those are good. But when you actually functionally see an improvement and it is documented with the blood test, then I think it becomes doubly important or becomes an interesting study. So this study is done by Dean Ornish, the doctor who had written the book before about reversing the cardiovascular disease or cardiac disease in the past. He did this study and it was a 20-week study. There were, I think, 51 patients and they were divided into two groups. One group got the treatment, the other group did not get the treatment. And when they entered the study, they already had documented early dementia based on certain tests, certain cognitive function testing that did. And there were multiple of them. And I don't think we have either time or space or even understanding to go over those tests. But it suffices to say that the test did show early dementia, and they had also done the blood test for beta amyloid ratio, as well as tau protein and certain other things. So these people were entered into this study. There were two groups. Each one had roughly about 21 patients or 20 patients or so, and a couple of people dropped out at the end of the study. So this was a 20-week study. The treatment intervention in this particular study was interesting because it had a number of arms. The first one was the diet. So the dietary change or dietary habits that were done in this particular group or a control group or treatment arm were that they had a whole food, no processed food or minimally processed food was used. The diet was plant-based. There were no meats and almost to a point of being vegan. Several fruits and vegetable servings were done, which this is pretty standard. I mean, I don't think there is anything else that I can say about the diet. Whole grains, of course, were used, whole food, unprocessed, whole grains. Legumes were used, and they also had no calorie limitation on their diet. So it was interesting. This was a diet. The second part of the study group or control group was, study group was that they had a moderate exercise. So they were asked to walk for at least 30 minutes. They also did a muscle training or muscle toning 3 days a week. So it was pretty good. So the second part was the exercise. So the diet and exercise, which you all the time talk about. The third arm was doing some combination of meditation, guided imaginary, and also stretching and yogic exercises. So this part was at least for 1 hour, and there were, of course, people that were guiding these people as to how to do it. So this was assisted or supervised part of the training that these people had. So the last one was supplemental medication, which are over the counter. So the first was dietary change, which was whole foods, legumes, fruits and vegetables, no calorie restriction, no processed food, and pretty much plant-based diet. Second was exercise, walking and muscles. Third one was meditation, stretching, yogic exercises, and guided imagery. So that was the third part. The fourth important part, or fourth part, that I thought was a little bit surprising, was they had number of people take these supplements. And these supplements are pretty much commonly used, but I was surprised that they had consistently used it. And for example, they use vitamin C, which is antioxidant, 1 gram a day. They also use CoQ10, which is also 200 milligram. They also use B12, which was 500 microgram. They also use the multivitamin with minerals, and omega-3, about 1680 milligram. So omega-3, multivitamins with minerals, CoQ10, vitamin C, B12, magnesium was another surprise to me, was used about 140 or 145 milligram of magnesium was used also. And they also use a probiotic. So that was 1 tablet of probiotic that they used. Apparently the flora in the intestine changes when people have dementia. And they also use super B-feed. And the last one was a thing that was a surprise to me, and I had heard about it but not read about it. It's called lion man mushroom Ernicus, ERINACCUS. The Ernicus is apparently used for nerves, and so it was interesting that they added that also. So this apparently was multiple supplements that these people got. The other group was told not to change their usual diet, exercise, and supplement things. At the end of 20 weeks, the cognitive functions were performed again. And again, they also had a beta amyloid and the amyloid ratio done. And they of course had tau protein check. They also had some other stuff checked, something called glide fibrinolytic acidic. It's called GFAP. It was interesting that we know that amyloid deposits cause people to have dementia, or amyloid deposits are seen in people with dementia. Same is with tau protein. In fact, in one of the previous ones, I had mentioned that deep sleep or slow wave sleep tends to clear these kind of stuff. And if you don't have a deep sleep, then amyloid gets deposited, tau protein is there, and then people have increased dementia. So these people were put on this particular 4-arm therapy for 20 weeks, at the end of which they again had the cognitive function, at least 2 or 3 different variety of tests were done. They also had a beta amyloid measurements, tau protein measurement, GFA measurement, etc. The study showed that at the end of 20 weeks, the group that was in treatment arm with these 4 different things done had substantial improvement in their cognitive function testing. But it was also accompanied by improvement in beta amyloid ratio. And unfortunately, or so, the tau protein and the GFAP were not changed. Now you got to realize that this was only a 20-week study, which is 5 months. And I'm not sure the significance of other testing, actual testing, not just cognitive function testing, did not change. But to me, it is very interesting because we have been talking about diet, exercise, and some kind of mind stimulation as a part of the group which reverses the early dementia, which reverses the beta amyloid ratio, but did not change the tau protein or the other tests which are done as a blood test. Does this mean that we have a cure or we can reverse it? I don't think so, but at least we are in the right direction. My problem or the beef with this particular study is it was too short, and the number of people that participated in it was barely 21 or 24 or something like that. So it was a very small group of people. Actually, it was 26 in the treatment arm and 25 in the control arm. Total 51 people in the group. So the duration was too short. The number of subjects enrolled were too little. A couple of people dropped out also. And lastly, but not least, is that the supplementation. I am not sure how much this supplementation will be promoted based on this study. I wish we had study where they had split supplementation so we could see which one actually helps. But anyway, the study looks to be good, promising, and again, diet, exercise, mental challenges, and good supplements seem to be the key to reversing the Alzheimer's disease. Well, it's not out yet. Hopefully we will have more studies and know about it. So thank you for watching. If you like it, please subscribe. Have a nice day.